Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn history today, the Han Dynasty, and after we've done it, we're going to do leg stretching, standing leg stretching, and if you participate in the standing leg stretching, then it's wird ja auch nicht. The Han Dynasty. In the year 210 before Christ, so 2200 years ago, the small Han kingdom was ruled over by Liu Bang. So we're talking about China. The small Han kingdom was ruled over by Liu Bang. Liu Bang was a poor villager who had come to power as the Qin Empire broke down. Okay, around 2200 years ago there was the Qin Empire, and then another empire, or the small kingdom, Han, was there, and it was ruled by Liu Bang. Liu Bang was the ruler of the Han kingdom, which was ruled by Liu Bang. In 2006, 4 years later, before Christ, Liu Bang led an army on the Qin capital, Xiangyang. He looted Huangji's tomb and burned the city and the library containing the books Shi Huangji had banned, the only existing copies. Okay, Liu Bang was a poor villager around 210, and then he came to power as the Qin Empire had broke down and he was the ruler of the Han kingdom. Then in the year 206, Liu Bang and his army got into the city of Xiangjing, the capital of Qin, and they looted the tomb of Shi Huangji and burned all the city and the library, also the books which Liu Bang had banned, and these were the only existing copies. Then 4 years later, 202 before Christ, Liu Bang proclaimed himself to be the first Han emperor and took the name Gaozu. Liu Bang, after he had been a poor villager and was the leader of the ruler of a small Han kingdom, had won with his army over the Qin Empire, and they burned the city down, also with the library of Shi Huangji. And then 202 he proclaimed himself to be the emperor, the first Han emperor. Now we're having the Han Dynasty. And when he took the name Gaozu. Under Han, then did China became as large and powerful as the Roman Empire. Art and science thrived. Chinese people still sometimes call themselves Han. Okay, there seem to be some people who call themselves Han. And the other thing is, the Han Empire grew and it got large and powerful as the size of the Roman Empire. And also, arts and sciences thrived. Under Wuji, then 100 years later, 140 before Christ, Han China reached its peak. Okay, during the Han Dynasty, there was the Han China, and around 100 before Christ it reached its peak with Han China, which had come about after the breaking down of the Qin Empire. The leader of the Qin Empire, probably, we don't know exactly, Xin Zhuang's tomb was looted and his library with the books he had banned, and Liu Bang, who was previously a poor villager, had become the ruler of the Han Empire and then proclaiming himself 202 the Han Emperor with the name Gaozu. And under Wuji it reached then its peak, the Han Empire. Han cities were huge, crowded and beautiful, and craftsmen made many exquisite things from wood, paint and silk. Sadly, many of these lovely objects were destroyed when Han rule ended. Okay, arts and science thrived during the Han Dynasty in the Han Empire, as big as the Roman Empire was it. And there were crowded and beautiful cities, and there were many craftspeople, and they were doing exquisite things from wood, and they painted and they did things with silk. But many of these objects, 2000 years ago, are destroyed and don't exist anymore. Silk, jade, and horses were traded along the Silk Route, which wound through Asia as far as the Roman Empire. Okay, silk, a white cloth basically, but that's made from moss. It's a white cloth, and jade, that is a stone, I think a green stone, and also horses, so animals. They were traded along the Silk Route, which stretched from Asia to the Roman Empire. So here from Asia up to the Roman Empire. Han emperors tried to recover the lost writings and revive the teaching of Confucius. Public officials became scholars, and in 165 before Christ, the first exams for entry into public service were held. Okay, During the time of the Han Dynasty, there were people to try to get the teachings and writings of Confucius. Confucius was a philosopher, and he had written lots of stories, and these stories did he tell how people, some stories, sometimes pretty directly how people should probably, after his ideas, live, but also longer stories. And they tried to study them and to revive and to get these lost writings and to examine them and try to learn from them how to live. And public officials became scholars. And from 165 onwards before Christ, they had to do exams before they got into public service. About 50 after Christ, Buddhist missionaries reached China. Okay, there were Buddhistic missionaries coming, and so the meaning that the ancient China during the Han Dynasty, a distant part, became Buddhistic. By the year 200, the Han emperors were weakened by the ambitious wives and eunuchs, guardians, rebellions by a group called the Yellow Turbans, combined with attacks by, I just read about them quite a lot. Rebellions by a group called the Yellow Turbans, combined with attacks by warriors from the north, brought the empire down. So around 350, 400 years it existed. And then from the north, people were attacking, and the Yellow Turbans, also a group, they brought the empire more or less down. Okay, that is the Han Dynasty. We will do at some time a following part. It's maybe not a very successively part, but we will do a following part. I'm only going to go over it again, and we are working on the presentation, so that we're able to say that all in one little presentation down. Now for now, but it is enough. If you were here for history and the Han Dynasty, then you can go directly to the next part. We will do now the leg stretching. If you participate in the leg stretching, then it's better the arm risk. And we're starting with a mushroom, bringing one leg and then pointing the foot down. I'll take the foot at the ankle, like a straight back, and point with the knee down to the floor. Now the other leg. Point the foot down, and take the leg at the ankle, make a straight back, and bring the knee down to the floor, crane. Now we're going to do the garden gnome. When heel onto the ground, pull the toes in and move the leg from left to right. Now the other leg onto the ground, with the heel, pull the toes in and move the leg from left to right. Now we're doing the chain stop. We're coming to one side, the toes are pointing forward, and we're stretching the inner side of the leg. And out to the other side. Toes are pointing forward and stretching the inner side of the leg. And now we're doing the Niagara Falls. Legs wide apart, and we're breathing in, and out, and we're hanging down. We only have to come deeper down by breathing deep in through the nose into the chest, and by breathing out through the mouth. Again, in, and out. Again, in, and out. Again, in, and out we go over to one leg. Breathe again in, and out over to the other leg. Breathe again in, out into the middle, and we're doing the Salto Angelo. Bring the feet together and we keep on hanging down. Breathe again in, and out. Again in, and out. And the last time in, and out, we're coming slowly with the back up, making the top and backwards, shoulder. And now we're doing the hiker's hilltop stretch, heel onto the ground, Pull the toes again in. Then move foot to the left and pull the toes in. Foot to the right and pull the toes in. Into the middle and pull the toes in. Now move the leg again from left to right. Now we rub our heel onto the ground, pull the toes in. Foot to the right and pull the toes in. To the left and pull the toes in. Middle and move the leg from left to right. And we're ending with a trunk, like a night harp, we'll be ringing them down. And out. Again in. Out. Again in. Out. And the last one, breathe in. Out. Breathe in, cross the legs. And out. That was the standing leg stretching. I thank you very much, and until next time.